You've seen the signs, haven't you? The same number appearing over and over, on receipts, on the clock, in license plates. A name you haven't heard in years, suddenly spoken by a stranger. A book falls off a shelf, and when you pick it up, it contains the exact insight you needed. These are not coincidences. These are synchronicities. They are not just spiritual signs. They are mirrors of your inner state, reflected in your outer experience. This isn't fantasy or magical thinking. It's a deeper pattern revealing itself to those who have begun to see. And if you're here, chances are you've already started noticing it. Before we go deeper into this, I invite you to share a moment that felt synchronistic for you in the comments. Maybe it was something small. Maybe it was life-changing. Your story might help someone recognize the signs they've been ignoring for years. Welcome. Let's get one thing clear. Synchronicity is not superstition, and it's not about believing that the universe is your personal genie. Carl Jung, the man who first coined the term, wasn't trying to impress mystics. He was revealing a psychological and metaphysical truth. Synchronicities happen when your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, archetypes, aligns with the outer world in such a way that they become meaningfully connected, though not causally. That means they don't happen because you made them happen directly. They happen because you and the universe were already dancing to the same rhythm. And the more aware you become of this rhythm, the more fluent you become in the language of signs. But here's the deeper truth that most people miss. Synchronicities are not rewards nor warnings. They are reflections. They are feedback. Every synchronicity is showing you something about your current vibration, your dominant belief patterns, your unconscious desires. You don't attract synchronicities by wishing for them. You live in them when you are in a state of coherence. That means your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are in harmony. That's when the outer world stops resisting you and starts responding to you. This is why many people only notice synchronicities when they're in emotional turmoil or deep transition, because those are moments when the psyche is more open, more raw, more ready to receive messages. But you don't have to wait for chaos. You can cultivate this connection consciously. The more present you are, the more aligned you are with your truth, the more frequent and precise the signs become. Synchronicity becomes not an event, but a lifestyle. And yet, you must be careful. Because chasing signs can easily become a distraction. It's easy to fall into the trap of interpreting every little thing as a cosmic message, and in doing so, lose touch with grounded reality. True synchronicity doesn't demand obsession, it invites awareness. It's quiet, often subtle, and always intelligent. If you're constantly seeking signs, you might miss the stillness where they actually emerge. Because the universe doesn't shout, it whispers. One of the most powerful things to understand is that your subconscious mind plays a huge role in synchronicities. Your subconscious holds the beliefs, traumas, patterns, and emotional imprints that magnetize your external experience. When a pattern is unresolved, synchronicities will begin to surface that reflect it. Not to punish you, but to awaken you. When you heal that pattern, the signs change. They evolve with you. The outer symbols begin to reflect your new inner blueprint. This is why shadow work is inseparable from synchronicity. Jung called the shadow the dark side of the psyche, not because it's evil, but because it's hidden. And as long as it remains hidden, it controls your life without your awareness. But when you begin to illuminate those unconscious parts, synchronicities help guide the way. They begin to show up not just to warn you or support you, but to reveal what you're finally ready to integrate. This is how synchronicities become your compass. So how do you cultivate this deep and personal relationship with synchronicity? The answer isn't complicated, but it does require consistency. It begins with awareness. Not just surface-level attention, but deep reflective presence. You must become an observer of your own patterns, of your emotional states, your daily thoughts, and your subtle reactions. Why? Because the signs you see are filtered through your inner lens. The clearer that lens becomes, the more accurate and meaningful the synchronicities appear. When you're in alignment, the symbols become unmistakable. You might be thinking about someone you haven't spoken to in years, and they message you. You could be reading a book and a sentence leaps out as if written just for you. These are not merely charming coincidences. They are intersections of consciousness. You've reached a frequency where the invisible and visible world overlap, and you're aware enough to notice. That's where the real magic lives. To reach this space more often, mindfulness must become a part of your lifestyle, not just in meditation, but in how you eat, how you walk, how you speak, how you make decisions. You must slow down enough to hear the nudges. Many of us are moving too fast to notice the clues. The universe leaves trails all around us, but you need inner stillness to track them. The loud mind misses what the quiet soul always hears. Journaling is one of the most underrated tools in deepening your connection to synchronicity. It brings the unconscious to the surface. When you begin to write down the odd timings, the dreams, the inner sensations, and the outer events, you start to see patterns emerge. You begin to see that life isn't random at all. It's deeply, almost frighteningly intelligent. What felt like chaos begins to form a kind of map. The more you map your symbols, the more you understand your own psyche. You'll start noticing the same number reappears when you're out of alignment, or a specific song always plays when you're about to shift into a new phase. These are personal codes. You were never taught them, but you always knew them deep down. Another layer to this is your emotional state. Emotions are magnetic. If you are steeped in anxiety, you'll start noticing chaotic patterns, not because life is cruel, but because energy mirrors energy. If you're radiating calm, gratitude, and trust, then the synchronicities that arrive will feel like soft encouragement, like gentle hands guiding you forward. That's not luck. That's coherence. When your heart and mind are attuned to a higher frequency, the world bends toward you in unexpected ways. There is also something to be said about ritual, not in the traditional religious sense, but in the sense of creating intentional moments where you align yourself with higher awareness. That could be lighting a candle and journaling each morning, walking in silence at sunset, or simply taking 5 conscious breaths before starting your day. These acts become anchors for synchronicity to land. They ground your energy and tell the universe, I am here, I am paying attention. And when you do that, the universe responds in kind. And yet, no guide on synchronicities would be complete without this truth. Not all signs mean you're on the right path. Some synchronicities are warnings. They show up to say, turn around, rethink this. How do you tell the difference? The key lies in your body. Your body is the most honest interpreter of energy. A true synchronicity brings a calm inner resonance, even if it's confronting. A misaligned path may offer signs too, but they're often charged with tension, fear, or ego inflation. Learn to trust your nervous system. It has ancient wisdom that no book or teacher can replace. More importantly, don't outsource your power to the signs themselves. You are not meant to follow them blindly. They are there to inform you, not control you. You are the alchemist. You are the one with the internal compass. The signs simply help you confirm what your intuition already whispered. When used wisely, synchronicities become affirmations from the deeper self, not instructions from something outside you. Let's go deeper now, into the subtle layers most people overlook. The language of synchronicity is not only emotional or symbolic, it is also vibrational. The frequencies you emit are matched by the universe not because of merit or morality, but because of resonance. Think of yourself as a tuning fork. When you shift internally through healing, clarity, forgiveness, or even heartbreak, you emit a different frequency. That frequency attracts new patterns, people, places. If your energy stays dense and conflicted, you may see more resistance in your reality. But as soon as you integrate a lesson, release a burden, or step into authenticity, reality responds instantly. Not always in obvious ways, but always in precise ways. This is why inner work is the most powerful tool for mastering synchronicity. It's not about chasing numbers or obsessing over meanings. It's about refining your inner state so you become a clear receiver. The cleaner your inner world, the more accurate and meaningful the outer reflections become. If you're constantly distracted, emotionally volatile, or full of self-doubt, You may misinterpret signs or overlook them altogether, but when you bring stillness, courage, and curiosity into your being, the world begins to speak more clearly. Dreams also play a powerful role in this dialogue. Your subconscious is a master communicator, and the dreamscape is often the most direct stage for synchronicities to perform. Keep a dream journal. Write down even fragments. Pay attention to recurring themes or people who appear in both your dreams and waking life. You'll be surprised how many signs were planted there long before they arrived externally. Jung called this the collective unconscious, a shared symbolic language we all draw from. You don't need to be fluent in it to receive it. You just need to be humble enough to listen. Here's another truth most won't tell you. Synchronicities often increase during times of transition or crisis. That's because when your normal reality is disrupted by loss, heartbreak, transformation, you become more sensitive to the unseen. Your ego steps aside and the soul steps forward. That's why you might see repeated signs when you're on the verge of a breakthrough or breakdown. The universe isn't trying to comfort you with magic, it's trying to steer you with precision. During these times, pay extra attention. What patterns are showing up? What keeps repeating? Which path feels charged with energy, even if it's intimidating? These aren't accidents. These are your soul's breadcrumbs. And while we speak of signs, we must also speak of resistance. Sometimes the signs are there, and you see them, but you doubt them. You dismiss them. You analyze them to death. This is the rational mind doing its job, trying to protect you from uncertainty. But synchronicity doesn't speak in logic. It speaks in resonance. So you must practice trust. Not blind belief, but intuitive trust. When a sign arrives, pause. Breathe. Don't react immediately. Sit with it. Let your body speak. If it holds a charge, it holds meaning. There's also danger in over-personalizing every sign. Not every red car is a message. Not every number pattern is divine. Discernment is key. Ask yourself, is this sign pulling me toward truth? Or is it feeding my fear, my craving, my fantasy? Sometimes what we call a sign is just our mind looking for control in chaos. But real synchronicity humbles you. It softens you. It doesn't inflate your ego. It quiets it. And then there's timing. One of the clearest signs that you're aligned is when things begin to unfold effortlessly, with almost eerie timing. The phone call comes just as you're thinking about that person. The opportunity arises the moment you decide you're ready. You read something that answers a question you never asked aloud. This isn't randomness, it's orchestration. When you are attuned, the timing of life becomes your greatest guide. Let me leave you with this thought before we move forward. Your life is already full of synchronicities. You're not waiting for them to begin. You're learning to notice them, to listen to them, and to trust the intelligence they carry. Once you fully accept that, the question shifts from, where are the signs? To, am I open enough to see what's already here? Now let's talk about the transformation that happens when you not only notice synchronicities, but begin to live in harmony with them. This is the threshold where magic becomes maturity, where you stop chasing signs and start embodying the energy that attracts them. You become someone who doesn't ask for proof every day because your life itself becomes evidence. Your frequency no longer begs for reassurance. It becomes a magnet for flow, alignment, and deep peace. You stop needing to know every answer because you start trusting your steps, even when the path is invisible. Living in sync with synchronicity doesn't mean everything becomes perfect. It means you become profoundly attuned to what feels right. You might still face difficulty, but you won't waste energy resisting it. You won't fall apart from uncertainty. You'll learn to feel the pull of life's currents and surrender to their wisdom. This is not passivity. This is power without control. This is navigation without force. It is the way rivers flow around obstacles, not because they are weak, but because they know the destination cannot be stopped, only delayed. Sometimes a sign appears not to confirm your comfort, but to challenge your courage. And in those moments, the real work begins. Because the most sacred synchronicities are not the ones that give you what you want. They're the ones that call you to grow. that ask you to release your old identity, that pull you into discomfort because they know who you truly are is waiting on the other side. Will you trust those signs too? Or only the ones that fit your ego's preference? And let's be honest, some signs will scare you. They'll ask you to quit something safe, leave something familiar, speak something terrifying. But if your intuition burns while your fear screams, pay attention. That burning is not anxiety, it's awakening. The soul does not communicate in guarantees, it communicates in intensity. And if you follow that heat long enough, you'll find that every fear was a locked door to a higher version of yourself. There will be days when the signs feel absent, when life feels silent. That too is part of the language. The quiet is not rejection, it's space. Space for you to act, to decide, to lead. Even the absence of signs is a sign. It says, this part is yours to write. So what does it mean to live fully in the power of synchronicity? It means you stop outsourcing your intuition to outside validation. You stop asking the world to prove itself, and you begin proving your own devotion. You show up every day with clear energy, open eyes, and a humble heart. You don't demand certainty. You build trust. You don't chase alignment. You become aligned. You don't manipulate life. You dance with it. And through this dance, you'll see, synchronicities were never about magic tricks. They were the feedback of your frequency. They were the universe's way of saying, I hear you. I see you. I'm with you. Keep going. So if you're wondering whether you're on the right path, don't just wait for a number on a clock. Become the kind of presence that invites meaning everywhere. Clean your inner space. Release what dims your light. Choose environments and people that sharpen your clarity, not steal your signals. And most of all, respond to life like it's a dialogue, not a battlefield. You were never disconnected. You were only distracted. And now that you've remembered, really remembered, you'll begin to see the whispers in the chaos, the signals in the silence, the map in your mirror. Synchronicity is not something you follow, it's something you become.
Drop a follow and like the video if this resonates with you, and don't hesitate to cheer up and support fellow brothers and sisters difficult times in the comments. Chosen one, keep your head up and stay true to yourself, always with love.